The rise and fall of Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte's story is one of unparalleled ambition, genius, and ultimate downfall. From a humble Corsican boy to the Emperor of France, Napoleon reshaped Europe, leaving a legacy that endures to this day. This is the story of his meteoric rise, revolutionary reign, and final exile, told in 5 chapters. Chapter 1. From Corsican beginnings to French general. Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769, in Ajaccio, Corsica. His family, though of minor nobility, faced financial struggles. As a young boy, Napoleon was ambitious, headstrong, and deeply influenced by Corsica's quest for independence. At 9, Napoleon left for mainland France to study at prestigious military schools. Though ridiculed for his Corsican accent and humble roots, he excelled in mathematics, history, and military strategy. By 1785, at the age of 16, Napoleon graduated as a second lieutenant in the artillery. The French Revolution of 1789 changed Napoleon's destiny. In 1793, his role in recapturing Toulon from royalist forces made him a national hero and earned him a promotion to brigadier general. His strategic brilliance caught the attention of France's revolutionary leaders, propelling him to command the French army of Italy in 1796. There, Napoleon transformed a struggling army into a victorious force, defeating Austria and solidifying his reputation as a rising star. Chapter 2. The coup of 1799 and the path to emperor. By the late 1790s, France was in chaos. The revolutionary government, known as the Directory, faced corruption and internal divisions. Napoleon saw an opportunity. In 1798, Napoleon led an ambitious expedition to Egypt, aiming to undermine British trade routes. While he achieved military victories like the Battle of the Pyramids, his fleet was destroyed by the British Navy under Admiral Nelson. Abandoning his army in Egypt, Napoleon returned to France in 1799. With his popularity soaring, he orchestrated a coup d'état, overthrowing the Directory and establishing himself as first consul. At just 30 years old, he became the most powerful man in France. Napoleon quickly set about stabilizing the nation. His reforms included the creation of the Napoleonic Code, which established legal equality, property rights, and secular governance. These laws became a cornerstone of modern legal systems. In 1804, Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of France, symbolizing his belief in his own destiny. The revolutionary ideals of liberty and equality now coexisted with imperial ambition. Chapter 3. The height of power. Between 1805 and 1810, Napoleon reached the zenith of his power. Through a series of military campaigns, he reshaped Europe and established a vast empire. One of his most significant victories came in 1805 at the Battle of Austerlitz, where he defeated the combined forces of Austria and Russia. This victory solidified his reputation as a military genius. By 1810, Napoleon controlled much of continental Europe, either directly or through allied states. His family members ruled Spain, Naples, and other territories, creating a Napoleonic Europe. Napoleon's rule wasn't just about war. He modernized France, improving infrastructure, education, and governance. The Bank of France, established under his leadership, remains a pillar of the French economy to this day. Chapter 4. The turning point. Napoleon's ambitions eventually outpaced his resources. His decision to enforce the continental system, a trade embargo against Britain, provoked widespread resistance. In Spain, his attempt to install his brother Joseph as king led to the Peninsular War. Spanish guerrilla fighters, supported by British forces, waged a brutal and draining conflict that weakened Napoleon's empire. In 1812, Napoleon embarked on his most disastrous campaign, the invasion of Russia. Leading over 600,000 troops, he aimed to compel Tsar Alexander I to rejoin the continental system. Though he captured Moscow, the Russians employed scorched earth tactics, leaving the French without supplies. As winter set in, starvation, disease, and relentless Russian attacks decimated Napoleon's army. Fewer than 50,000 men survived the retreat. Chapter 5. Exile, Return, and Final Defeat. In 1814, Napoleon Bonaparte's once mighty empire crumbled under the weight of his ambition. Following the catastrophic Russian campaign of 1812 and his defeat at the Battle of Leipzig in 1813, Napoleon faced an alliance of European powers united against him. By March 1814, Paris fell to the coalition forces, and Napoleon, facing insurmountable odds, abdicated the throne on April 6, 1814. Napoleon was exiled to the island of Elba, a small Mediterranean island where he was granted sovereignty and a modest guard. Though removed from power, Napoleon was not idle. He reorganized Elba's economy, reformed its administration, and remained keenly aware of political developments in Europe. Meanwhile, dissatisfaction with the restored Bourbon monarchy in France created an opportunity for his return. In February 1815, Napoleon escaped Elba with a small group of loyal followers. Landing in France, he marched toward Paris, rallying soldiers and citizens along the way. His dramatic return, known as the 100 Days, saw him reclaim the throne without a single battle. Napoleon promised a renewed France under his leadership, but the major European powers swiftly declared him an outlaw and mobilized their forces. Napoleon's final gamble came on June 18, 1815, at the Battle of Waterloo in present-day Belgium. Facing the Duke of Wellington's British forces and Prussian troops under Gebhard Leberecht von Blücher, Napoleon sought a decisive victory. Despite moments of brilliance, miscommunication among his marshals and the timely arrival of Prussian reinforcements sealed his fate. The French army was decisively defeated, marking the end of his reign. After Waterloo, Napoleon abdicated again and surrendered to the British. He was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic, where he lived under strict surveillance. In his final years, he dictated memoirs, reflecting on his legacy and the empire he had built. Napoleon Bonaparte died on May 5, 1821, likely of stomach cancer. His life, marked by extraordinary triumphs and tragic defeats, remains a powerful tale of ambition, genius, and the limits of power. Napoleon Bonaparte was a man of contradictions, a revolutionary who crowned himself emperor, a visionary reformer who plunged Europe into years of war. His legacy remains complex. The Napoleonic Code, his administrative reforms, and his military innovations continue to shape the world. Napoleon once said, "Glory is fleeting, but obscurity is forever." More than 2 centuries after his death, his story endures as a testament to ambition, genius, and the price of overreach. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the rise and fall of Napoleon Bonaparte. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more historical deep dives.